everyone, and welcome back to 27 Fox Place and part 2 in my bathroom makeover series. In part 1, we took care of replacing all of the worn out and outdated fixtures that we could without doing any major renovating. So we needed to make changes that would complement the existing shower and vanity, and we do have plans to gut this entire bathroom eventually. So we didn't want to invest a lot of money into this project. So originally I planned on just replacing the floors and painting the cabinets, but the more I looked around, the more projects I added to the list. So to keep costs down, we put a limit of about $150 on each project, and this makeover took about a month of Sundays plus Saturdays to finish. We started in the middle of October and we didn't finish up until after Christmas. The entire transformation came to just over $900, but in the end we were able to transform this bathroom into a cozy space that works with the rest of the house. So now that all the heavy lifting is done, I need to add all the finishing touches. One of the very first things that I found was this vintage-inspired area rug, and it comes in just about every size, so it was easy to find the perfect size for this space. But as soon as I put the rug down, I knew I needed to put a non-skid pad underneath it to keep it from sliding around. We installed vinyl flooring, which is easy to walk on and it feels warm to the touch, but adding a rug warms up the space even more, and I just love how this rug looks in this bathroom. I did go through several different rugs before I found this one, and I just love how the colors in this rug tie everything in this room together. It's also the perfect rug for a bathroom or kitchen because it's soft underfoot, but it has almost no pile, so it will be easy to clean. Our old laundry hamper has seen much better days, so finding a replacement was a must. We've had the same laundry hamper since we first moved into the house, and it was starting to fall apart. I've been looking for a new laundry hamper that was both the right size and look for this space, and I finally came across this one. It was very easy to assemble, just 2 screws on the top and 2 on the bottom, and it has rubber feet on the bottom so it won't scratch the floor. And I love the basket weave because it looks nice, but it also allows air circulation so we don't end up with musty clothes. We don't have enough space in the closet to keep a laundry hamper, but we need to have a hamper close by so that the dirty clothes don't wind up all over the floor. So keeping a hamper in the dressing area seemed to make the most sense, but it was still a challenge to find a replacement that fit up against this wall and still held the same amount of laundry.
I got the curtains up. I guess it would be nice if you could interrupt. It's a day like this. It's a day I really would have missed. It's getting real dark in here.
I painted these cabinets with a satin finish in the color Roadside from Home Depot, and as soon as I painted them, I knew I needed to add hardware, but the thought of drilling holes into my freshly painted cabinets was a little hair-raising, so I found this template that made finding the right placement of the hardware a snap. All I had to do was line up the template with the center of the drawer front and select the hole placement for the proper alignment. There's one template for drawer fronts and another one for the cabinet doors, and I'll be sure to add a link in the description box for this template and everything else in this video. I had a hard time trying to select a finish for the hardware in this bathroom. We have polished brass shower fixtures, which limited my options somewhat, and I thought about adding black knobs to the cabinets, but when I ran across this set of pulls and the matching knobs, I thought they would be the perfect complement for these cabinets. I ran into my first problem with the first pull that I installed. I knew I wanted to add hardware to these false drawer fronts, but the fronts are much thinner than the normal drawers, so the screws that came with the pulls were too long. But it was getting late in the day, so instead of taking up the time to find the right screws, I decided to work on installing the rest of the hardware, and once all of the knobs and pulls were installed, I went back and switched out the screws.
Then everything seems to crumble around you. I know that you feel all alone.
The first thing that I did once the bathroom was functional again was to organize all of the bathroom supplies, and I had originally planned on combining all of the organizing and decorating into one video, but it turned out to be too much to fit all in one video, so I had to split them up into two parts. So there will be another video next week for all of the bathroom organization, so be sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss that video.
I know that you are having trouble believing right now that everything is gonna be alright. I know that you feel all alone in this world, but you have to put your trust into us, and we will help you through, 'cause we only want what's best.
The cabinets didn't have any hardware when we first moved in, so it was always hard to open the drawers and cabinet doors, and because we were constantly touching the finish every time we opened and closed something, it made it hard to keep them clean, and it also wore down the finish. So adding hardware to the cabinets is very functional, but it's also the icing on the cake, and I just love the way it turned out. We took off the doors for both the closet and the bathroom so that we could install the new floor, so we needed to get them put back up again, and I needed to get the closet door back up so that I could hang up the mirror, but we decided not to put up the door to the bathroom. We still want to completely renovate this bathroom eventually, and I have plans to take out the wall between the two rooms. We don't really close the door to this bathroom, so I don't think it will be a problem if we take out the wall, but if we leave the door off, we'll be able to make sure before we commit to such a big change. We've had this full-length mirror hang on the wall in the bathroom since we moved into the house, and I wanted to frame this mirror, but there were just too many things that I needed to do in this bathroom, so for now, I wanted to try hanging the mirror on the back of the closet door, and I didn't want to drill any holes in the door, so I decided to try using command strips, but I also didn't want to risk the mirror falling off the door, so I used about 3 times the number of strips that I actually needed. So far, the mirror has stayed put, but I used so many strips that I'm not sure I'll be able to get it back off again.
a few kids, bought a new house, promised you heaven, but
we were able to move almost everything back into the bathroom and start using it, but getting the shower curtain hung up was the last thing that we needed for this bathroom to be fully functional. But there was a whole situation with the shower curtain, so the only thing I could do was hang up the rod so it was ready for the curtain. Of course, I had to remove all the hardware when I painted the walls, so I needed to install the new hardware in order to make this room fully functional. All of the hardware in this bathroom used to be polished brass, and we had to stick with a gold finish for the plumbing fixtures, but I wanted to introduce another element for the rest of the hardware, and black seemed like the best option. Of course, we also need towels when we get out of the shower, so we need some place to hang them up, and this wall is the only option we have that's within easy reach of the shower. We used to have hooks that went over the back of the door, but because we decided to leave the door off, we needed to find another solution, and I almost reused the old towel bar that we had hanging next to the sink. And the advantage of hanging towels up on a bar is that it looks neat and tidy, but hooks are much more functional for this space. It'll be much easier to grab them when we get out of the shower, and it'll be quick and easy to hang them back up on a hook. Having a bunch of different containers in the shower can make the whole space feel messy, so to solve this problem, I wanted to create a more cohesive look with matching bottles, but I also didn't want to spend the extra money. And sometimes the containers that we throw away make the best decanters, so I've been saving the empty Neutrogena bottles to use for the shampoo and conditioner that we use in the shower, and then I used my Cricut to make matching labels. One thing that I like about having larger bottles is that they can hold more than one bottle of shampoo, which helps to free up some storage space under the cabinet. But having a larger bottle can make it difficult to manage, so having a pump on the bottle makes it easier to dispense without having to pick up the bottle. And because the pump draws up product from the bottom of the bottle, we can refill them before they're completely empty. I set up everything that I could for the shower, but there wasn't anything else I could do without a shower curtain, so I worked on finishing up the rest of the room, installing essential hardware, and adding a few decorative elements. All of the bathroom hardware in this room was worn out and needed to be replaced, but I did try to reuse and shop decor from around the house as much as I could, and I found this artificial plant at Walmart last year for the laundry room, but I stole it because I thought it would work well in this window. There were definitely things in this bathroom that were in bad shape and needed to be replaced, and I tried not to replace anything that wasn't completely worn out, but I did add a few non-essentials like this soap dispenser, and I found a new picture that I thought would add some contrast to help tie in the new black hardware. There used to be a towel bar on this wall, and we used it to dry our hands for the most part, but it covered up the light switch and we really didn't need a full-size towel bar, so I swapped it out for a smaller hand towel. Adding glass doors would be ideal for this tiny room, but it was just too big of an investment for something we hope to replace in the next few years. And I knew I wanted to add a shower curtain to help soften up this room, so I ordered a curtain that I thought would work in this space, but when it arrived, I realized that I wanted a curtain to hang from the floor to ceiling, so I returned it and ordered the longer curtain, but when it arrived a few days later, I realized that I couldn't mount the curtain rod all the way to the ceiling because the light fixture was in the way, so I had to return it and order another curtain that was still long enough to touch the floor. So once I finally determined the length of the shower curtain, I was able to hang up the curtain rod, so that all I needed to do was hang up the curtain when it arrived. This whole wall was feeling a little plain. I want to add a frame to both this mirror and the mirror above the vanity eventually, but we have guests coming to stay with us this month, and we have a few other projects that we need to finish up. So in the meantime, I thought I would hang a few pictures. I think this basket might be older than I am. It's been floating around the house for years, so I thought I would use it for a wastebasket. And to dress it up a bit, I found these trash bags with this cute little floral pattern, and it looks more like fabric than an actual trash liner. I hope that you enjoyed watching this transformation. There's still a few things left to do before this bathroom is complete. I need to touch up the paint in a few places, and I also need to paint the baseboards. There's a few other small details and projects that are still left to do, but overall, I'm so happy with the way this bathroom turned out. It went from a space that I couldn't wait to get out of to a space that I can't wait to get into. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and remember to subscribe and turn on the notifications before you go. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today, and I hope to see you next time.